so we're doing arithmetic sequences. An arithmetic sequence is a sequence which increases or decreases by a given amount. Here we have a sequence for 7, 10, 13, which is going up by 3 each time. Because it's going up by the same amount each time, it is an arithmetic sequence. And the value that it goes up by, that is being increased, the value that is being, added or subtracted is called you know?
Ooh. The coefficient?
No. It's called the common difference. Did you use that word last year? Common difference?
I don't recall.
That's okay. Denoted by the letter D. All right. Some more notation. The first term of the sequence is denoted by a U with a little subscript 1, okay? So U1 is the first term. You all aware of that? You all seen that before?
Yes.
What's the second term? Good. Third term? Excellent. The nth term?
UN.
Right, okay, good. So if I was to ask you, you probably would have had to do this last year. If I wanted you to come up with a formula for this sequence for the nth term, how would you go about it?
UN.
Say again? Yep. 3n plus 1, okay, good. So these you can come up with quite easily, okay? It's going to be 3n plus 1 because it's always whatever the common difference is multiplied by the n and then plus or subtract whatever you need, okay? Now, there's also a formula that you can use for this, which is pretty nifty. So we're going to say the general term un for any arithmetic sequence is given by, now the good thing is you don't need to remember this formula, it's given to you in your formula booklet. Un is equal to U1 plus n minus 1 multiplied by D. So this will give us the nth term of any arithmetic sequence. So for the sequence, just to check Ashlyn to make sure she was right. So for the sequence, 4, 7, 10, 13, and so on. If we plug everything that we know, so we want a formula for the nth term, which is un. The first term in the sequence is 4, so I'm going to put that in first. 4 plus n minus 1 multiplied by d. What's the common difference? 3, and then if I simplify this, how do I simplify it? First thing I'm going to do. Good. 4 plus 3n minus 3. Yeah, 3n. 4 take away 3 is 1, which is exactly what Ashton said. Okay, so this gives you the formula for the nth term, and this is in the formula booklet, okay? So you don't need to remember it. But it's pretty straightforward, yeah? It's like you did this last year. So I guess using this formula, what I want you to go have a go at is find the number of terms in the sequence. So if you're finding the number of terms, what are you trying to find? Are you trying to find un? You're trying to find n? You're trying to find d? You're trying to find u1? What are you trying to find?
UN, right?
If you're trying to find the number of terms.
I'm confused. Wait, so we're just trying to find out how many terms there are?
How many terms there are. So, but what is that? What is that in this formula?
UN.
No, un is the nth term. So it'd be d is the common difference. So it's n, right? So n is the number. No, you said un. No, this is where you have to be really careful, because un and n are very, very different. So give me the first one. We've got, I always kind of start off just by u1 is 20. Common difference is 3. So my formula is 20 plus n minus 1 times 3, which is going to be 3n plus 17, correct?
Yep.
And then to work out how many terms there are, what am I going to have to do?
Sub in.
Sub in what?
83.
Where?
On the left.
On the left, because the nth term, this is my nth term effectively, yep. Because I don't know what number of terms it is. Sub it in here. And then quickly talk me through it.
So subtract 17. So you get 66. And then divide by 3, you get 22.
Good. Is that all okay with everyone? Good. Okay, good job. So it's the 22nd term, okay? So this is my first term, second term, third term, all the way up to the 22nd. And of course you can check it just by subbing it back in and you get 83 out, okay? For this one, first term is?
6a.
Common difference?
2a? Or just... Oh, sorry, man.
Second, common differences?
2a? Or negative 2a?
What
Isn't the difference this...
What is it?
Isn't the difference of b negative?
Yeah, because you can add on a negative number.
Yeah, this is where I got confused. Would it be...
What am I adding on to 6a to get to 4a?
Negative...
Come on, Ashley, you're being very quiet there. Negative 2a, right.
Okay.
All right, so come on, confidence. You're adding on negative 2a to 6a. That gets you to 4a, yeah?
Yes.
That's all we're thinking, okay?
Yeah.
You could also think of it as, to work out the common difference here, I just did 23 take away 20. 4a take away 6a is negative 2a. So I can come up with my formula again. un is equal to u1 plus n minus 1 times, ooh, look at all this lovely algebra. Okay. So what am I going to get when I expand this? Plus 2a, yeah, so 6a, take away 2an. Negative times a negative is a positive. Okay, so that gives me 8a, take away 2an. and then I need to sub in minus 22a. It's exactly the same as what we did before. What could I do at this point then? Because I'm solving this for what value?
Pardon?
What value am I solving this for? I'm solving it for n. Yeah, I could divide by a. Did I actually need to have those a's in there really in the first place? No, I could have just ignored them. You know, it doesn't make a difference if these are there or not, okay? And that's something that they will do just to kind of mess with your head, okay? What did I just delete by mistake? Really? Okay, so I can divide everything by a. That sounds good to me. And that means I've just, now if you don't divide by a, it's fine, you'll still get the same answer. When I solve this, first step to solving this?
Divide by 2.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, you can, yeah. Subtract 8.
Subtract 8. I'd probably go with subtract 8 first. It's not wrong to divide everything by 2. I'm just being fussy. Equals?
Negative 2.
Good. So n is equal to?
Divide by negative 2.
Good.
15.
Positive 15. Good, right. Okay. Easy enough?
Yes.
Good. Okay, let's give you something that IB would ask. So this is kind of like an IB type question. So, 3 numbers. Are, hi. Three numbers are consecutive terms of an arithmetic sequence. The sum of the 3 numbers is 45. And their product is 3,240. What are the 3 numbers? So this is like a typical, it's an arithmetic sequence question, but and let's try it without a calculator first. You just
Without a calculator?
What I don't, okay, so you can use a calculator, but what I don't want you to do is just try and do it by trial and error by putting in 3 different numbers and multiplying them together and adding them together, okay? I want you to try and work it out using what you know about arithmetic sequences. Okay? Or try and work it out using algebra, like kind of work it out whatever way you want without using trial and error.
Okay. I feel like this is right. Like I can't explain how I got it though. But
So you know that you have to be able to explain it and show me.
I can't even turn on my calculator. It's loading.
The difference is what is D, yeah? That's what the common difference is. So for any arithmetic sequence, we know that that's three numbers are consecutive terms of an arithmetic sequence. So let's say U, okay? That's the first one. What would be the next term in that sequence? Not U2.
U plus or minus.
U.
U plus or minus.
What? What do we call it?
D?
D, yeah, because it's the common difference, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
And then it'll be
Do I
U
need to
plus,
put minus? Because you said plus or minus.
No, just plus because the D.
Because the D could be negative, yeah. Right? Okay, good. So this could be the first term in this particular sequence. This could be the next term. What would be the next term after this?
U plus 2D.
U plus 2D, right? Because we're adding on another D, yeah? Now that's one way we could think about it, because we know that if we add all these up, we're going to get 45. If we multiply them, we're going to get this.
Okay.
Now, there's an easier way as well, because I don't necessarily need to... No, see if you... I'm not going to tell you easier one. Okay. Let's see if we can... how our algebra skills are. What do I do next? Talk me through. Next step.
Well.
Zoe. Yes. Yeah, you do. We know that the sum of three numbers, the sum of these three consecutive numbers is 45. So, yep. Yep. All right. So 45 equals 3 U's plus 3 D's. What do you want to do next?
Divide
By?
by 3.
Okay.
That's where I'm at now. So 15 equals U plus 3.
Okay, now what am I going to do? What other information have we not used yet?
The product.
Product. What does product mean?
Multiply.
Right, so...
Oh, yes. U.
How do I want to multiply these three terms together.
Okay, so U times U plus 3 times U plus 2D is 3,024.
How you doing over there, Ashlyn? You okay?
Well, I know what it is, but I got it from the other way. I didn't.
Yes. From which way did you do it, Ashlyn? No.
So like finding it, and then I just did like doing the difference. I don't know. So like.
That's fine, but it's when the numbers are not as nice, then it messes things up.
Yeah.
Which is why I want us to kind of look at this particular way. At this point, when I've got the product written here, what am I going to do next?
Expand?
Be careful. I could expand. What's the issue with expanding this?
You get squares.
I'm going to get squares. I'm also going to get a u cubed in there, which is going to be not particularly very nice. Correct?
Yeah.
What do I notice about... Well, what essentially am I going to end up with here? I'm going to have this equation. I'm going to have this equation. I've got two unknowns, u and d. How do I solve if I've got simultaneous equations? Right. I've got u plus d equals 15. So what can I do with this information in this equation?
You can put 15 in the...
All right, okay, I can put 15 in here for the u plus d. So that's u multiplied by 15 multiplied by... Sorry, say again?
The second bracket would be 15 plus d, right?
Why?
Oh,
What?
sorry.
15
Never mind.
times 2. Oh, wait. Never mind.
No, what's wrong? What's wrong? Talk to me. Greg, what's wrong?
I was
Right.
gonna say for the second bracket, like 15 plus D, because it's 2D, but that would make sense because it's multiplied.
Right, yes, yeah. Okay, good. Zoe, you okay? But we're all okay that this U plus D is just 15, yeah?
Yeah.
So our next step then is to? I've got 15 multiplied by U multiplied by U plus D equals this, 3240.
Wow, 15D then times, plus 30D.
30D? Oh, right, you mean expand?
Yeah.
Could do, or I could. How can you get rid of the 15 totally?
You
And
divide.
yeah,
But
that's,
then when you expand later, once you have a square U,
we will, but that's easier than a cubic one, yeah? So when I divide everything by 15, I'm going to get U plus 2D. 3240 divided by 15 is? Then I'm going to expand. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's expand.
now we have like 2DU or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 216.
Oh, 216, okay. Now what? No, because if I square root this, then I need to square root 2du, and that's not going to be very nice. Like I've got two variables here, d's and u's. I only want it to be one variable.
You could divide by D.
If I divide by d, I'm going to have to divide this by d, so I'm going to get u squared over d. I'm going to have... Can I use this again? Let's... What about this? What is d equal to? 15 minus u.
Oh,
If I take that, I'll stick it in here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to just go through this. So 2 times 15 is?
30.
Multiplied by u is?
30U.
2 times u is u.
2U squared.
Yep. And I've got u squared take away 2u squared is?
Wait, sorry.
So I've got u squared take away 2u squared is minus u squared. What have I got here?
Standard form. No. What's
I've
the
got
difference in squares?
No, it's a quadratic.
Right on my terms.
So I'm going to bring everything to the one side and make it equal 0. And then I'm going to stop and let you catch your breath. You all with me so far? What's going on? Ashlyn, yeah, good. Zoe? How do I solve that? How do I factorize a quadratic? So on your TI Inspire, so this is your TI Inspire.
Yeah.
I'll do it on the TI-84 as well in a sec. What you can do is, if you go to, sorry, it's been about a month since I've done this, so I've forgotten already because my memory's shot. So yeah, you just want the regular calculator part, and I am going to go to menu, okay?
Yes.
And then you go to algebra, polynomial tools, and then find roots of polynomial, okay? You see that, Ashlyn? You got that? Greg, you got that? And you click on it. So this is degree 2 because it's a squared, and we want real roots. Just hit OK. Okay, so we're going to put in the coefficients in front of our values here. So we've got, what's in front of the u squared? What number? 1. What's in front of the u? And in front of the coefficient by itself is 216. Hit OK.
I only have 2. Yeah. Sorry, you click. So roots of a polynomial, right? And then degree 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So and you hit enter and you get 12 and 18. I would expect, getting 2 answers is not a shock, okay? Is that okay so far? Yep. Okay, you follow that, okay? So I've solved this, and I have figured out, using our calculator, that u is equal to either 12 or u is equal to 18. Now, when u is equal to 12, what's the value of d?
3.
Yeah, you put it back into this equation, and you get 3 out. So in this case, the sequence would be 12, 15, 18. In this case, when u is equal to 18, what's the value of d?
-3.
-3. So the sequence is 18, 15, and 12.
Look at how math this works out.
All right, so the easier way is realizing. So we started off by saying that our 3 consecutive terms are u. The next term is u plus d. And the next term is u plus 2d. That's absolutely correct, okay? These are consecutive. I could also have u is a term. The next term is u plus d. But what's the term before this?
U minus d.
U minus d. That's equally as valid, okay? These are 3 consecutive terms. They're going up by the same amount. Yep, still an arithmetic sequence. It said that the sum of the 3 terms is equal to 45. So when I add these up, I'm going to get 3u is equal to 45. So u is equal to 15. So that gives me my middle number there. And then I can just use the fact that, yeah, the product of these 3 things is equal to, yep, 3240, and I can find out d really straightforwardly. So we're finding it, yeah. But that's the whole thing with these types of questions is quite often as well, they will throw in an easy way and there'll be a more difficult way, and it's a question you want to try and be able to spot that quick way. But in the chances that you don't, you have to be on point with your algebra and with the other ways of solving these. Kind of a good couple of questions on this. Yeah. Page 15. These are good questions I would have a look at, okay, for some review on this. Tomorrow we're going to look at the sum of the first n terms, the sum of these sequences, and then, but have a look at that exercise. You don't need to do every single question, okay? Just have a look at it and pick out a couple. Work together, okay, on these. Don't be sitting in isolation trying to do this yourself, okay? You'll benefit from chatting with each other about this. And remember, if you're working on any of this and you get really, really stuck, take a picture and send it to me.